Gaming has come a long way. PC gaming in particular has changed a lot over the years. From the original Zork games that just described a short setting to full first and third person open world sandbox games. Looking at the history of PC gaming, one cannot miss out on the dramatic effect Sierra Entertainment has had on the industry. So today we're going to look at the various things Sierra has done. I'm Ollamh, and welcome to Geek Trivia. As we noted in a previous episode, Sierra Entertainment was responsible for a major change in gaming. They were one of the first companies to take adventure games and draw out the scene rather than describe it. This, of course, was King's Quest, their #1 fantasy game. They still kept the scene-by-scene setup, but instead of telling the game to go north by typing it, you use the arrow keys to move your character in that direction. It also showed you what was around, describing the scene only when you typed "look." You could move your character to a part of the scene and look closer at an item and interact with it. Now this was more realistic change than with the Zork style games where everything seemed to be within the reach of the character. Now while King's Quest was the first, they spread things wide by diving into different genres. They had the sci-fi genre covered with their Space Quest series starring Roger Wilco. Drawing from vast amounts of books and movies in the sci-fi genre, they made sure to include lots of Easter eggs and nods to popular stories. This includes a robot much like the Terminator, giant fighting mech robots, and just a massive amount of borrowing. They also delved into the more mature side of things with the Leisure Suit Larry series, which I'm guessing got its name because Quest would have surely been censored. Larry being an adorable loser who just wants to get with the ladies, there is surprisingly little sexual contact to begin with. In fact, most of the time he goes through a lot of work to try and get with the ladies, just to have something go wrong at the critical point. They also touched on the RPG fantasy-style gaming with Quest for Glory, the name having been changed from Heroes Quest due to legal issues. Now this was not the standard-style D&D game. You start your character off by allocating points to certain abilities, but as the story progresses, you do not gain more points to allocate, but instead have to train up your skills by actually using them. Now, this system was not perfect. If you sneaked everywhere, your stealth would climb higher and higher quite quickly. Same with throwing. Again, the style of gameplay was scene by scene, but more than anything, it was about the story. And even with something like this, killing main characters was possible, but generally discouraged. The next long-running series they developed was even more unique. The Police Quest series put you in the shoes of an officer of the law, but it wasn't pure fantasy. The writer for the series, at least the first 3, was former police officer Jim Walls. The next 2 were designed by Daryl F. Gates, a former LAPD chief. By having them developed by former officers, they added actual accepted police procedure into the mix. If you didn't follow proper procedure, you didn't get the maximum points available. Now they did have several 1 or 2 game series such as the Conquest games featuring King Arthur and Robin Hood, Phantasmagoria, a horror-based game, Mixed Up Mother Goose and Fairy Tales, and even 2 games focusing on the need to take care of the planet Earth in the EcoQuest games. Some of the other key changes that came about through Sierra Entertainment were the switch to point-and-click games. which they started to focus on after a father wrote to them explaining that, due to critical illness, their son could not use a keyboard. The realization that female characters could take the lead and be the hero, such as Rosella from King's Quest IV. And, most important, where killing is an option, it should always be the last resort. And to get maximum score, you should find a solution where everyone and everything survives. Now, eventually the creators of Sierra Entertainment passed the torch on, and the game company went in a new direction, focusing on first-person shooter-style games instead of adventure games. The Police Quest series became SWAT-styled, letting people play as a member of a SWAT team and allowing some questionable activities and differing severely from the company's normal standards. During this time, they also started focusing more and more on sports games, which helped to bring new players, but also wound up turning off many of their long-term customers. But that was the general focus of the industry at the time. As gaming machines became more capable and graphics became more evolved, sports took a major focus as there were still more sports fans than gamers. Recently, Sierra Entertainment has started to breathe new life into their original games, with new King's Quest games coming out and the reworking of their older series. The question is, where will the gaming giant go next? Will we see Larry Laffer and Roger Wilco make an appearance in new stories? Or maybe their kids? Only time will tell. So what do you think about Sierra Games? Which series was your favorite? Which one left you feeling kind of Leave a comment down below and let us know. As always, thank you so much for watching, and stay tuned for more from Ollamh Productions. Cheerio!
Traveled gentlemen, I've decided that it's time to give you a gentleman's perspective on the world.
Okay, that was kind of cool.